Hello there everybody, welcome to Beverage Games YouTube channel, and, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. It's been a while, indeed it has been a very long while, in fact so long in fact they've actually upped the game to the point of releasing its career mode. Now the career mode is still strictly speaking under development, as there's a big warning when you go to select it. So without any further ado, we'll just go briefly over the things. Of course, that's the Astronaut Centre. Down here with the flag in front of it, so you can hire your astronauts. Tracker station back there with all three satellites pointed into the stars to listen out for any bad things that are bound to happen. Of course, this is the spaceplane hangar, so you can build all your fancy aircraft like the SR-71. And of course the space rocket hangar thing, so you can build all your things to go to the moon and to Juno and such and such. Of course, though, this building down here is the new one, and it is the Research and Development building. So this is the whole point of career mode. What you do is you go out with your little Kerbals, you start doing some sciencey stuff, and then you can gain access to the research. So we've got access to start, so what we've got is the Mark 16 parachute, Communitron, a basic girder, the basic fuel tank, basic fuel engine, solid rocket booster, and the basic command pod. And so with that, we have to start doing some sort of science. So without any further ado, we'll just get this straight underway. So we'll get the command pod ready. Won't do anything too fancy this time. I don't think. I will just put in a solid rocket booster. Stick on a parachute. Set the parachute to separate group as we do with the pod as well, just to make sure all's fine and dandy. And we're just going to launch this straight up. Might actually angle ourselves to the mountains or something towards the south, I think they are, to the west. Yeah, to the west, so we could aim that way, I suppose. But we'll see how things go. Let's get this puppy in the air. We'll actually start our lean really early. I want to see if we can get to those mountains with this SRB. So there we go, got a nice little lean on. So you're going very well. Jebediah is happily enjoying the ride. What's the view like from where he is? Not that great. Not if we spin around. There we go. Now we can see what we're aiming for. That's got to be the worst view ever. Well, there we go. The SRB is now out of power. And we're going to be very, very short of the mountains. In fact, we are already decelerating. Which is not good. Not good at all. In fact, we're going to come down pretty darn quick, I reckon. There we go, we peaked at 9,146 meters above the Earth's surface. And still several kilometers short of the mountains. But hey, you know, this is Kerbal, this is where all things go. What goes up must come down, as they say. Whoops, we need to swing ourselves back to vertical, I think. Would be a smart thing to do. Come on. There we go. We'll lock ourselves back in vertical. It's nice to change the SS as well, because before you had to have the SS mod designed to do any sort of control or get it like manageable, but it's nice to see they've tweaked it now so it has the pod, but it does cost you power to keep it locked in. It's costing me not a huge amount of power, but it's gonna be noticeable over a long flight. So just sitting here now waiting for the final countdowns of things. We'll deploy the chute a little bit early. But it just means that when we hit the ground, we don't hit it with such force as to potentially destroy the fuel tank, though I think we might. One thing I've got to do is a crew report. Hey, I think I can see my house from here. Can you? Oh yeah, we can, just. So yeah, that's the method of gaining science, actually. Glance at sort of skipping over it. You do crew reports, and you can do EVA reports when you go out for an EVA spacewalk. You can collect soil samples, and the math, well, the way it works it out is kind of weird. You have to go to biomes, and go as far from Earth as you can. Sounds really complicated, but think of it this way. Imagine, like, going to the moon, going to the crater side of the moon, well, what would be a craterous biome, doing a soil sample there, doing another flight, but instead of going to the crater biome, you go to a flat biome. like peninsula. I think it's a peninsula. Yeah, no, peninsula is an island. I can't remember the geological term for a large flat piece of rock that's above sea level. It will come to me later. But anyway, yeah, if you go to that biome, you'll get a different amount of science. But the problem is, you get diminishing returns, and you can do it as many times as you like. So with that in mind, we're doing an EVA report. This is a most precarious situation. I'll keep that data. Whoops, did not want to do that. We want to do disembark, repack the parachute, we're ready for next time. And then we'll take a soil sample. Yep, looks like dirt. That's good. Stick down a flag. I'll call this the longest rocket flight. Oops. I'd hope I could type today. My hands are so cold they cannot type. Rocket flight. Let's put down here new record. There we go. New record! As other such things are so fond of reminding me. So there we go, we'll get back in the little thing. Of course, now you can recover your vessels straight from mid-flight, so that's all very nice. Of course, when you get back to base, there we go, we've got 23.1 science on this mission. So, grasslands now are going to be out of question for future soil samples. Of course, recovery of a vessel that's above the flights, the more the vessel you recover, the more science you will gain, because of course you can reuse your vessel rather than having to rebuild all the parts. Crew reports and all the rest of it. So it's going to be very interesting indeed. We could do an EVA and crew report on the launch pad and see what that gets us for our next flight. So without any further ado, let's go here. Now we have 23 science, so we'll unlock our first bit, which is basic rocketry. So now we have access to a couple of new bits here. What we got? A bigger fuel tank, slightly bigger, well, the fuel tank that can expand it if you will without having to use the whole thing. Some mystery goo. Yeah, okay. Chemical polymer dumpster diving. Don't trust it at all. But more importantly, a stack decoupler. This is good. Can't. How much we got? We've got 18 science, so we can actually afford some of these bits as well if we needed to. Could get survivability, which gives us access to radio parachutes at landing spots, which would be quite cool, and a really small, like, poodle liquid fuel engine. General rocketry gives us massive SRBs and the gimbaled liquid engine. I'm actually tempted. Oh, we can't afford that one because that requires 20 science. We've only got 18 with 2 signs short. Oh, I'm actually tempted to go for this because then we can build a. I wouldn't say a complicated rocket, but something a lot bigger that can go a lot further. So if we just scrap all this and we'll start again, so we'll get a new command pod in, and obviously we'll give it the good old parachute, like so. And we can give it these glorious fuel tanks. Oh, look at that, they look glorious. Stick that on there. Move the fuel tank down one. So we can have that. We'll stick on our, not that, we'll stick on our tank of mystery. We'll stick on 2 tanks actually, because we can do one on the ground and then one in the air if they aren't linked because they are symmetrical. So structural, we can do a stack decoupler. This build's already getting very complicated very quick, but it should be awesome. So we're stuck on a couple more of these big fuel tanks and that engine there. But what we'll also do is we'll stick on 4 of the solid rocket boosters. Like that. And of course now we have access to aerodynamic parts, so we can stick on nose cones so they're not so aerodynamically unstable, and some fins to keep the rocket all neat and tidy during its flight. And there we go. But actually if we move those to there, we can move those round to there like that. There we go. That looks much better. Whoops. Yeah, we can rotate these around. Actually, let's put these on there, because I have a feeling if these get destroyed, you lose the science from it, and I don't want to do that yet. So, there we go. These all fire off at once. These will all burn through their fuel tanks. Then it will move on to this one here, which will give us a nice little bit of extra runtime. And then we'll see how we do. We'll actually top this one, because I like the look of it. It's got a GI rocket. General Industries rocketry. And let's also sort out Kerbals, because Jebediah's had a good run. Let's send a Bill. Billy, you're doing this one. Okay, that looks majorly out of balance, so without any further ado, go! Wow, that goes up really quick. That's actually doing really well. I was expecting this to like explode on the launch pad or for the couplings to break or something like that. This is going really well. One thing I actually want to try and do is, and it's going to sound crazy, but I actually want to head towards the North Pole. If the game will let me. It doesn't look like it's going to though. Which is a real pain. But we're saying again, so we're getting quite a lot of distance on this. Crew report. Keep that data and we'll observe the mystery goo. The goo jiggles and wobbles as the craft flies. Fantastic. And we've got 7 science for it as well, which is brilliant. Okay, how are we doing on the fuel front? Okay, that's just nearly out of fuel. But we are pretty high up. Our apparatus is going to be at 35,000 meters, so we're pretty high. They're now looking for that vital course adjustment to get us, hopefully. Done it. I hate it when it does this. That's one thing I wouldn't mind fixing. If you're on a world, it shouldn't focus on it. Okay, so there we go. We'll burn towards that general direction. That marker there, that will... Whoa! Wasn't expecting that. Okay, this is actually pretty high. If we can actually get above atmosphere, that'd be awesome. Actually, let's go. Let's see how far we can get. If we can get to the mountains over here, this would be awesome. Awesome, awesome news. So we do run the risk of crashing and burning. Ideally, actually, what I'm going to do is let the ship get to there. Yeah, so we're running like that. And then what we'll do is we'll let the craft fly down, and when we get into the atmosphere again, we'll use our remaining fuel to do like a pseudo landing, like you would on the moon and everything like that, to reduce your impact velocity along with the parachute, and hopefully that will give us enough of a slowdown to bring things together. So anyway, we're just gliding through the air nicely. Kerbal Space Command is quite far behind. It's actually a good 86-ish kilometers, roughly. What would be nice actually is if you could have like a distance from home thing come up in your HUD. I suppose you do it. That's a mission report, but what key is on this keyboard, I cannot remember. This is really now more of a giant glide. Let's skip time forward a wee bit. Jebediah's all sorts of excited. I want to do an EVA, but I'm afraid he's going to let go and bad things will happen. No joke, I am generally quite scared of letting him go for an EVA. Grassland, grassland, mountains. That way. There we go, the red hot signs of re-entry. We're coming in hot to the mountains. We want the mountains. We want the mountains. Please give us the mountains. Ah! You give her all she's got, Captain. She won't take much more. Oh, let's have a look at the mystery go re-entry. Let's discard that data. Hit. There we go, look at that. Okay, nothing more we can do now other than just float down to Earth and hope the explosion isn't too horrendous. Well, that being said, we might lose a couple of bits. Hopefully we don't lose the goo canisters, so I don't want to lose them, especially this one on the side. Okay, we'll open up the parachute, we'll skip time forward a wee bit. Over to shoot, we'll deploy, deploy, shoot, shoot, deploy. Whew, that was close. And we're going to land right on the blasted hill, aren't we? Damn. Well, this ain't good. Ah, no. Yes, the goo canister survived. The important one survived. Okay, let's do an EVA. Ah, no, little Kerbal. Let's take a surface sample. This is dirt and grass and some small rocks. You suspect this isn't going to be much of a groundbreaking discovery. But it is going to be a groundbreaking discovery because we have discovered those rocks on our world. And can we recover the experimental goo? Can't do anything without that. We can reset that one, but we can't grab that one. Which is a buggerance. But we did good, you know, we got some important goo data. Didn't get quite into orbit as I'd hoped. Yep. Actually, it'd be a lot easier if we come on, rotate around. Look at that. There we go. We'll just review reports. Yep, we'll keep that one, and we'll just recover our vessel. There we go. Awesome! So we managed to get 2 lots of soil samples, managed to get quite a lot of data, and another 22 science. So fantastic. So we got mystery goo observation data. We lost a lot of science so for that landing. That was really quite bad. Let's see what we can unlock there. Can we get the stability? Yes, we can. So we can get those landing structures. It's going to help when we land on rough terrain. We can also look into getting some flight control so we can get a Sputnik, which would be pretty awesome. That's all to do with control launches. That's really more of advanced rocketry, which we could go for later on. But we'll get this first. So there we go, not a bad episode done. All told, you know, we got some basic rocketry, we got stability, and we got the first bit of survivability. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Remember to like, favourite, subscribe and all that jazz, spread it around and all the rest of it. We'll see you next time with some more Kerbal Space Program, and hopefully, if all goes well, we'll go for something a little bit further down the tech tree. Bye bye.